if I told you there was a very, very old ring, but just one of them, not 7 of them, or 39, or however many the Lord of the Rings was, which game/genre would I be talking about?
Would it be perhaps Elden?
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding. I win a cookie.
You win title of the biggest game of the year so far.
So far. What's coming out this year? So it's gonna be game of the year, isn't it? Fuck me. Welcome to the Gamers2 podcast. Your weekly roundup of news and commentary related to the video game industry and anything else that might pique our interest. The video game industry. The Souls game industry.
Do we want to cover anything else that's going to pique our interest before we get anywhere else? MLB's still in a lockout because they can't figure it out.
Yeah.
F1 testing began.
F1 testing did begin. Porpoising. That's the big news. Porpoising.
If you don't know what porpoising is in a car, because I had an idea, I didn't know because I wasn't around the first time it was happening.
I wasn't either. It was in like 70s.
Yeah, but I also don't pay attention to history like that. And then when we saw it in testing, and you're like, "That's porpoising," I was like, "That is hysterical," and that is 100% porpoising.
I did the same thing because I was like, I watched like the first day of testing, like a couple videos on it. I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then like the second day rolled around, and I get on my YouTube, just to see what's on there, and I kept seeing all these Formula One videos where they're like porpoising. I'm like, what the fuck is porpoising?
It's a hell of a verb.
And then like I clicked on a video, and like they showed the car, and I was like, that's porpoising. And then like I went through the whole history of it. But
it's one of the more apt descriptors.
Yeah, it's a really interesting. It's kind of fascinating. So we'll breeze through it real quick. Formula One new cars. They're going back to ground effect cars. So the floor pans have all sorts of fun things they do. But essentially, it's all about ride height. So like when you hit quick speeds, when the cars get up to speed on straightaways and whatnot, the amount of downforce creates vacuums in different places, and basically it causes a reverberation through the car, which then the car rocks back and forth on its front and rear axles, and you get like what looks like a fucking dolphin swimming through the water.
As if you saw a porpoise going through the water, you'd go, "Yep."
And like, I don't think you can get rid of it like permanently. Like, it's not something you can just get rid of.
I believe you can limit the effect of it, so it's not as obvious.
Yeah, like so if you do like a slow one, that's fine. But if it's a quick one and you're like snapping necks and stuff, it's
a mix between porpoises or dolphins and those old quarter machines that you used to be able to ride in the front of supermarkets with the horses that would just kind of go back and forth. It's like that same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Then the MLB lockout, man, that's fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun is a weird word for that.
It is.
Sad.
It is sad.
Annoying.
Mm-hmm. It's fun to see. Not fun, but it's fascinating to see like all the news people who can talk about it, and all the like commentators and stuff that we watch, like John Boy Media, and them like calling what's gonna happen and like why they're doing things, and then
watching it happen,
and then it happens, and I was like, these motherfuckers. Like, these goddamn team owners.
I'm not the only one in the simulation.
Yeah.
I have the simulation for the video game industry. They have the simulation for baseball.
Yeah.
The funny thing is watching reporters and John Boy and those other influencers, stuff like that, do their takes, but then you see like the Associated Press story, and the AP is just jerking off the owners.
Really? I haven't looked at those.
The way they write is that the players are at fault.
Are they doing the whole like they're being greedy type thing. Like
Yeah, their headline, not yesterday, the day before, I believe, was Max Scherzer shows up in Porsche 2 meetings. And everybody flamed him like, oh yeah, and I'm sure the owners showed up, running the tube or the metro down there in order to get their, they were really struggling to have their
Max
Dunkin'
Scherzer
Donuts
probably
coffee.
drove a $100,000 Porsche there, and the owners, each one of the owners, probably flew there in a private jet.
Yeah,
so you can go get fucked on that one.
but it's just how they've written multiple headlines where it's been, oh, look at this lavish player, but the owners are clearly hurting.
Yeah.
It's like, do you guys not even understand how inflation works? Like this,
and
that should be. I don't even want to get.
They're not fighting for. Max Scherzer isn't fighting for his salary.
No, not at all.
He's fighting for the dudes in AAA and AA and all the other minor leagues,
Future,
who are making $20,000 a year to play professional baseball,
if that.
Yeah. So, all right, yeah, baseball podcast now.
Yeah, I don't even want to get started because I go into an entire inflation discussion of what do we go up against, 7% or something, and
7%.
So it's like, cool, we're going to shoot up to 7%, but no company, excluding baseball, is going to go bump your guys' salaries up 7% to equate for it like they should.
Mm-hmm.
So get fucked.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you want to hear about things you can't spend that 7% on? Like new releases? Number 1, Destiny 2 The Witch Queen. For everything that Destiny was already on.
So original. There was a king. There must be a queen. Are we going to get...
But that king was taken from that queen.
Yes. And we already did the princes, right?
I don't...
Because that wasn't that one of the...
Sure.
What are we going to get now? We get a jester?
Ooh. That would be actually... I'd be kind of down if they had the, like... missing jester or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. See how original they can get.
It would just be funny if they did something like the jester, but like anytime you went into a strike, it was entirely ridiculous.
Yeah, it was like bonkers,
fixes.
And there was things like changing all the time. And...
Yeah, just somebody basically doing the Tiny Tina Wonderland commercial where they like, man, it seems like he killed that boss. Be a shame if he just came back alive again.
Exactly.
Just absolutely mess with the players. It'd be entertaining. Number 2, Ghosts for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. That is just Ghosts, not COD Ghosts. Number 3, Soul Cresta for the PC, PlayStation, and Switch. Number 4, Tiny Combat Arena for the PC. Number 5, Dr. Oil for the PS4 and Xbox. That game's going to be pretty expensive. Number 6, Edge of Eternity Cloud version for the Switch. Number 7, Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. Don't know if that matters. Number 8, Sam & Max. This time it's virtual. Now made its way to PSVR.
Rough.
Number 9, Martha is Dead. Martha is Death, even. Whichever one you want. PC, PS5, and Xbox. Number 10, Never Alone Arctic Collection for the Switch. Number 11, Rogue Book for the PlayStation and Xbox. Number 12, The Ring That Is Elden for the PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Number 13, Grid Legends. You guys all remember Grid, right? And Grid 2. Grid Legends for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask for the Switch. Number 15, Moto Rotor for the PlayStation and Xbox.
Sounds like a sex
Switch.
move.
That's Rotor, not Rotor.
I don't know. They got those weird things like glass bottom boat.
Glass bottom boat is a reference that no one should look up.
I'm trying to think of some other really terrible ones. I mean, the classic is the donkey punch.
Well, Donkey Punch, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Hawaiian Donkey Punch.
Yeah. What else is there? We don't need to go through those.
Double Dutch Rudder?
There you go. There you go. There was another one.
Do not look any
that
of
was
these up.
so good. Oh my god. Whatever. It's fine. Strawberry shortcake.
Yeah, no, but that one makes me always...
that one's just
as you can run into that with like blue waffles, and they both just ruin everything.
Yeah. These are terrible. Don't.
Why are we doing this?
I don't know.
Anyway,
what's
moving on to number 16, the Steam Deck.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Number 17, Tormented Souls for the PlayStation and Xbox, and this podcast.
I was just gonna say that should be this podcast name.
That's my nickname.
Tormented Soul.
That should be the name of my bedroom.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the other one was going to be.
Chapel of Anticipation.
That's what it was.
Oh, God. What are you feeling? Evens? Odds?
I'm feeling like I really want to know what the cost is of getting a neon light that says Chapel of Anticipation for the wall.
Well, let me tell you what, sir. It's going to go up.
That's
because
true.
Guess who is one of the major producers for Neon?
Oh, man. Don't tell me because I don't want to do it. Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. I'll take evens.
Okay. That makes me odd. Which
he said it.
All is right in the world. This week has been pretty rough, so let's kick things off with some good news.
Rough's an understatement.
There's going to be one less launcher in the world. Bethesda is retiring.
To be clear, game launcher.
Game launcher. Game
Not
launcher.
like surface-to-air missile launcher.
Yeah.
Anything
we
else
are a video game podcast, There's plenty of missile launchers in the world.
We've touted the line already, so...
One less game launcher in the world. Bethesda is retiring its Bethesda.net launcher this year. It will let people move their games and wallet to Steam starting in April.
That's interesting.
When you migrate to Steam, Bethesda says, quote, you will not lose anything from your Bethesda.net account. Many games will also have their saves migrated, with a few requiring some manual transfers. For games that require it, you will still use your Bethesda.net login to sign in to play. End quote. Bethesda is only letting you migrate what's on your Bethesda launcher to Steam. Nothing can be migrated to Xbox or PlayStation. That being said, Bethesda.net accounts are staying for now. Quote, your Bethesda.net account will not be lost and will be accessible on our website and in-game, and we will continue supporting all Bethesda.net accounts with our future titles, end quote. So, yeah.
The wallet transition is interesting.
It is. I'm kind of surprised by that.
I didn't know it was a thing.
I
like that it's a thing.
I know. I mean, it's neat.
I also like that this launcher is dying.
I do as well, but it kind of makes sense. I mean,
now we just need to kill Rockstars. It's the last really weird one.
Yeah, Rockstar. What other ones could we? I mean,
I'd love to see Ubisoft's gone. I'd love to see EA's gone, but let's be honest.
Yeah, those aren't going anywhere.
I mean, EA already has Steam integration, so that one should go away. Because Origin's bad.
It is.
EA Play is worse somehow. It's more modern, but it's worse functionality-wise.
Yeah. Ubisoft's definitely won't go away. They don't have... Well, yeah, they definitely won't go away.
No, neither will Good Old Games, but that's basically a storefront instead of...
Epic. That's storefront. I could really go for I know they changed the name to Game Pass for PC, but I really would like them to rebrand the launcher.
Instead from Xbox?
Yeah, it's just kind of like it just doesn't seem right to me. I wish they just rebranded to Game Pass.
Oh, I was gonna say, what about Microsoft Game Studio?
Microsoft Game Studio.
What about Windows games?
We're getting in some PTSD territory there.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
how much pain do you want to endure?
I know there's not a lot of angles for them to go, but I just think they should just do just do the Game Pass for PC. Rebranded Game Pass. I'm just sick of looking at the Xbox icon and be like, I gotta click this to get the Game Pass. Xbox. Burp, 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 burp. I'm weird. That's why I took odds. I had no choice, really, but...
I mean, you had a choice, but then you chose to ask me.
Did I, though? Did I have a choice?
No. Number 2. But you had the illusion of it, and that's the important thing.
We're humans.
It's all an illusion. Number 2, last week we covered a rumor about Dragon Age 4 progress. Well, now BioWare has released a blog post that talks about where the game is at. Quote, for the next Dragon Age, we are right in the middle of production, which is a great feeling. Our blueprint was completed last year, so we're now focused on building out our vision, end quote.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me segue you in.
I was going to say you could just tell it.
You want to know what is not a great feeling when it comes to Dragon Age 4 and BioWare?
I got 3 things.
Okay.
BioWare, EA, Dragon Age. Those 3 things are all bad feelings.
I'm hoping Dragon Age would be a good feeling, but it's not looking that way. Let's see here. Christian Daly left, who is the executive producer for Dragon Age.
In to be clear, in the middle of production.
Yep. And that makes number 7 for major positions that have left BioWare. A lot of them dealing with Dragon Age. Also, the game has been in production for how long? And they just finished the blueprint last year.
Now, I would like to remind you,
the blueprint that they're going to use, they finished last year.
There's that. But I would like to harken back to a time, Matt, to a time where once again we could see the writing on the wall. And while we do enjoy slapping people down emotionally and keeping those emotions in check, do you remember E3 all that time ago? And I don't think it was last year. I believe it was the year before.
2 years ago, I think.
I believe it was the 2020 E3. Where, it wasn't E3 because it was canceled, but you know what I mean? EA did their moment. And they just kind of showed a bunch of stuff, and everybody went, oh my god, that's Dragon Age. And you and I went, where?
I see a picture.
That
could be literally anything.
There was a screenshot that could have been any fantasy world in existence.
They could have stole it from Software, and it could have been Elden Ring.
It could have been out of WoW.
Could have been from the Lord of the Rings MMO that was canceled by Amazon.
Could have been from the new upcoming Gollum game. Could have been from Harry Potter.
Could have been. It did kind of look like the Weeping Willow.
Could have been from Mad Max.
Could have been.
Oh. Could have been from a lot of things, is the point.
EA.
And here's what we're going to say, or I'm going to say, in a tone that is disappointing. You stupid idiots. We told you 2 years ago, if it was 2 years ago, that game is not even close to ready. And, as they've now told you, a year after they showed that, they finished the blueprint they might use. And are, in theory, halfway through production with, as Matt said, 7 changes. So maybe we take your hopes and dreams and we put them in a tiny little jar, and then we put that jar on the shelf. And now we put a bunch of other things in front of it, and you forget about that for now.
There was that rumor going around that we would see Dragon Age come out. Possibly, was it the end of this year?
Yeah, they were mouthing off about, oh man, you know those things that we haven't seen yet? I could see Harry Potter, Gollum, Dragon Age, the new Mass Effect, all that stuff coming out this year.
If you see Dragon Age come out this year,
don't play it.
You can kiss BioWare goodbye. Because there's no way that game would be...
There is arguably a chance, regardless of when the next 2 games come out, you can kiss BioWare goodbye. They are arguably developing for their existence. With EA's track record and their track record.
Oh, yeah.
EA would love to just go, you're now Vince's. Shh, 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 shh. You're now a Respawn support studio. Go over there.
You're in timeout permanently.
I want to say it was Andrew House. I don't remember what their CEO's name is, but
Andrew Wilson.
You are now in timeout, BioWare. Permanently. It's like, what?
Oh, no.
What? What'd I do, Dad? Failed me.
You did everything we told you to do.
And that's the problem. We don't know what to tell you what to do.
Oh, number 3, Microsoft is reportedly building a team to help game developers based in China expand overseas. The new staff will report to the Xbox Gaming Ecosystem Group, as per a report from the South China Morning Post. This group includes business strategy managers based in Shanghai that will assist local studios in releasing products on Xbox. Interesting approach.
Interesting, not surprising.
It's not. It makes a lot of sense once you realize like they can't really release games in China. So why not take all that talent and direct it to places where you can make money? So
exactly.
Of course, Xbox would see the opportunity and be like, "Yes."
Oh, what's that? It's only going to cost us like a little bit here for a lot of it. You know what? I will trade you, Matt. I will trade you a little bit of this for a lot of bit of that.
Sounds like free real estate.
It's free real estate.
Classic.
How do you feel about an Activision Blizzard update?
Terrible.
All right, then, number 4. Well, you're getting one anyway. A federal judge is allowing plans for a settlement between Activision Blizzard and the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission to move forward, denying California's state regulators' request for a delay.
I don't know if you remember that. It's been a long time since we had an update.
I do remember that because we've discussed it a few times.
Yep. Sneaking that one in.
We now have a timeline for how Microsoft's acquisition came about. Due to the official merger proposal, the initial conversation about an acquisition happened between Spencer and Kotick on November 19th, just 3 days after the Wall Street Journal's report about the Activision Blizzard CEO, and a single day after Spencer told Xbox staff he was deeply troubled. So we're going to buy him. The next day, a Saturday, business on a Saturday?
What?
Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella was more explicit, indicating that, quote, Microsoft was interested in exploring a strategic combination with Activision Blizzard, end quote. That kicked off nearly 2 months of conversations between Microsoft and Activision Blizzard into what would become the acquisition announced on January 18th.
Considering how big that acquisition is, like seeing the timeline like that, like
2 months to choose to spend $70 billion.
Yeah, and the fact that like the decision,
it basically took place over 48 hours.
Yeah, like it was just like how'd you feel about this? And they'll float the idea, and then CEO comes in afterwards with no, we're serious, bro.
Yeah, I don't know how it truly went down. Obviously, like this is a timeline, right? But I'm picturing more like the inner office moment where are they just sitting there, kind of watching the TV, like checking some emails, and then they see this article hit. And Phil just goes, "Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me! I have a great idea." And then immediately just picks up the phone. He's like, "We need to have a meeting now." And then dips to this, the big C-suite conference as the head of gaming.
Yeah,
he's like,
the Microsoft Xbox bunker.
This is do the bunker. They all run in
the chapel of anticipation.
Everything said with that, with like a sinister voice, is just so good. Welcome to my chapel of anticipation. Here you will do nothing but anticipate.
Sounds kind of terrible, actually.
Yeah, because nothing ever happens. You're building. It's nothing but just building and building and building, and then just nothing. Anyway.
Sounds like my life.
So he runs into this room and has this whole meeting of like, we need to buy them now. And then CEO and everybody kind of like, all right, Phil, yeah, we'll think about it. Then he runs back. He's like, I got to go talk to some people. And he leaves. And then he comes back in an hour later and he's like, and so? And they're like, we haven't even left this room. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll consider it. How much money is it? Oh, that much. How much money do we think? Yeah, that sounds fine.
We got that.
Change. Like they have, I feel like it's a 5-minute emergency where they go, can we do this? And then it's a hour-long conversation internally of like, yeah, probably do it. And like the money wasn't even a question. It was just like, I guess so.
That's just crazy. Crazy.
Speaking of the acquisition, Activision Blizzard faces yet another lawsuit. Their own shareholders are suing the company over allegations that the publisher withheld information to convince shareholders to vote in favor of the $68.7 billion acquisition. They also allege that there is a conflict of interests, that directors and execs entered the agreement for significant and immediate benefits. And speaking of significant benefits, we now have an idea of the golden parachutes that the execs are getting from the deals. Kotick could see $15 million, the CFO $25 million, the COO $29 million, $11 million for the chief admin officer, $15 million for the chief legal officer, and $2 million for the former chief people officer, who you may remember, Claudine Naughton, and a hamburger for Nate because he's hungry.
All right. See, I think you got the short end of the stick on that one. As far as a hamburger, when you could have gotten $29 million.
Listen, I don't make horrible business decisions or harass people below me. So I can't get that sweet money, you know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
The life you live for good morals. I don't know what to tell you.
That's a good point.
King, Chief Development Officer.
Good luck. Tojo Dolph?
No, it's probably Jodolf Samastad.
Yeah, that does sound very like.
Oh, actually, no, it's probably not Joe. It's probably Yo.
Yodolf?
Jodolf Somastad has been promoted to president. President of King. Man, that's a weird sentence, isn't it?
It is.
As the firm sees a couple of executive departures. Samastad has worked at the mobile developer for over 10 years. He will take over the role from Humam Signini. Why? We're losing so many good names.
It's bullshit.
Who is stepping down after 6 years at King and 12 years at Activision Blizzard. U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin addressed a letter to Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick asking him to negotiate in good faith with Raven software workers. As reported by the Washington Post, Baldwin also sent the letter to Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. The senator for Wisconsin said she's been following Raven's efforts to unionize and is disturbed by reports pointing to management's attempts, to disrupt unionization at the studio. Quote, I urge you and the management at Raven Software to negotiate in good faith with the workers and suspend any efforts to undermine your employees' legal right to form a union and collectively bargain. Yeah, bitches? I don't think that last part was in there, but that might have been a little creative.
It should have been.
Can you imagine if it ended with "ya bitches"?
Ya bitches. Oh man.
Yeah, so a lot of Activision Blizzard there,
and even more. Number 5, according to Bloomberg, Activision won't be releasing its annual Call of Duty title in 2023. People familiar with the situation said this is due to, quote, a recent entry, end quote, not performing to expectations. I wonder what they're talking about. Leading Activision to rethink its approach for the series. This would be the first year since 2005 without a Call of Duty entry. To bridge the gap, Activision is reportedly working on a free-to-play online Call of Duty title to be released next year, as well as a new entry due this fall, which will, quote, receive a steady stream of additional content, end quote. Treyarch is reportedly involved in the development of the free-to-play title.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
This is what I'm hoping for, a little bit of revival of energy into the.
For sure. I just think it's funny that Battlefield's always like the
whipping boy.
The whipping boy. That's a good way of putting it. It's always the whipping boy. But I mean, it's their own fault.
I think it's also funny that Call of Duty won't lose any money over this.
Oh, hell no. Which, I mean, in their defense, it's a smart move. Like, you read the tea leaves, you make a strategic move like this, and you won't lose money, and you ensure that you won't lose money in the future by making a strategic move that lessens the damage, essentially.
It's also a very strategic move because think about it. In your acquisition window, you're just not going to make a Call of Duty.
Yeah.
As you're getting acquired, you're like, nah, screw it. I'm not going to make a PlayStation game. I'm not going to make an Xbox game. We're just going to keep things kind of going. But next year, when we're fully owned by Microsoft, and I get to make whatever they let me make, oh, Lord, he a coming.
That also probably helps with the merger deal as well, because if they were to release a Call of Duty and it were to perform negatively or positively, it could affect the prospects of the merger.
Yeah. So next year, when they drop their new Battle Royale season on their new game, and Master Chief is an Xbox exclusive skin for your person.
I didn't even think about Master Chief and Call of Duty. You are like...
What? Tea leaf reader?
You're just great at like making my life miserable with these like possibilities.
Oh, I mean, all right. First off, I would have loved it if you stopped after the word "great."
My bad.
Just you are great. And we just stop there.
Period.
Nothing more needs to be said. Because you ended it with shooting holes in my plane.
Just think about this, though. All right, so Call of Duty comes out, and, one of the microtransaction or unlockables is a skin of Master Chief.
Right, yeah, no. It would be the end of the bet. It would be the 100, or it'd be...
It'd be like a Battle Royale map, there's like 128 people, and they're all fucking Master Chief running around playing Call of Duty. Oh my god!
It would be free.
Gouge my eyeballs out with it.
It would be free for
fucking
Game Pass high tier people, and then it'll be available in the shop for $15.
Jesus Christ!
On Xbox only.
They'd make money hand over fist. All the little Call of Duty sweaty little snot-nosed brats all like, I need my Master Chief.
Or you could also be the Arbiter, because they'll throw that one in. And then,
Cortana, melee weapons and energy sword.
Yeah, and you can skin one of the rifles to look like the battle rifle.
Oh my god.
You know how everybody was like, oh man, I wish Halo had a battle royale. Well, good news. You're going to get it, but in Call of Duty.
All the battle royales are Master Chief. And Halo. The new fucking Warzone map for this season's the Halo ring. Oh, God.
It's a Halo inspired. As you can see over here, we have Blood Gulch. Over here's the pit. Over here's... They do what they did with the current Call of Duty maps, where they put parts of each map that they've made in the big open world.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. They just make a Halo ring, and they take all the Halo maps and kind of like intersperse them around.
Oh, God. Terrible.
Is it, though? Because, I mean, sure, it's not what we would like. Here's one thing it's better than. The TV show. Here's the second thing it's better than.
Oh, my God.
Any Battle Royale Halo was going to make. Here's the third thing. It would be entertaining. Because it would arguably potentially breathe life back into Halo. Which, after it came out and it had its little window, has faded immediately.
Should I watch the TV show?
I was wondering the same thing. And I think I'm going to skip it. I put it this way. I'm not going to watch it at start. I think if I do watch it, I'm going to let 1 or 2 episodes come out first just to see how bad the backlash is. From, like, the in-deep Halo people.
I once made an argument with my philosophy professor that...
About Halo.
About how you should watch and view and take in bad experiences and bad... like movies, bad art.
I agree, because it shapes what you view.
Yeah, it gives you a frame of reference for what is good.
Perspective.
Yes, perspective. Good word. Good
it allows you to appreciate the good things that much more when you've lived your life in shit.
Yes, that's what 2020, 2021, 2022 are. You know?
Basically, the 20s are shit. It's the roaring 20s, but in the wrong way.
What is an antonym for roaring? I'm gonna Google that. Well, are you up next? You're up next, right?
Depressing?
No, I want something like it's gonna be catchy though for the 20s. You know.
But yeah, I agree with what you're saying. But there's a difference between watching bad things and watching things you're aggressively going to hate.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to watch Black Dynamite, which is a good movie, but it's a bad movie.
Have you ever watched the Black Dynamite cartoon?
Yes.
Is it good?
Not really.
Okay. Damn.
It's very Black Dynamite, but
it doesn't have the same feel, right?
It's just not the same thing. Because you can't get the same, like, a lot of the humor is body humor. Sure, there's a lot of, like, written jokes and whatever, but a lot of it comes off as, you know, you need the over-the-top body movement, the way people look around or, like, react to things. Like, if you took Bruce, good old Bruce Green, right? Yeah. And you animated...
What?
You animated either that scene or his signature stare. The stare doesn't mean anything if it's animated compared to him actually doing it.
Yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense.
Which that stare is my favorite thing. I try so hard sometimes to perfect that stare.
I think it's pretty good.
It's good, but there's some times where, like, I have that moment where I say I'm listening to something and I, like, make my own joke, and I'll do it in the office and I'll just go. But nobody understands. Nobody, like, gets the reference, so I don't even.
Yeah.
They don't even see it because they don't know what to look for. But I just do it, and I'm like, man, that's really funny. But I try not to crack while I'm doing it, and that's the hardest part.
Yeah. How about the floundering 20s? I don't like the sound of it. Yeah. We'll come back to that. I'll think about that.
Number 6, Valerant Studios is taking Knockout City free to play and will publish the game independently following an initial publishing agreement with Electronic Arts. For now, Knockout City players will still require an EA account to be able to play the game, with more info to be announced at a later date. Man, Knockout City. Another month in the sun for that one.
Apparently it had like 5 million active users at one point.
At one point. Hey, listen, all it's got to do is show up on Twitch for a little while and you can hit those numbers and then it disappears.
How long before studios start playing into that?
They already have.
And they make, like, disposable games.
I mean, they almost already have. Was that not getting over it?
I don't know.
Getting over it with Benefati? Man in the Pot?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's what that is.
Wasn't that was a single guy that made that, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't.
It's that Flappy Bird. Like, they're all those hype moment games where it's like there's no longevity.
I guess mobile games would probably be the closest thing. I'm thinking of games like Knockout City or something like that. That is like made around for like a month, and then the developers just drop it and like stop all like server access and everything. Like, I'm waiting for that shit to start happening.
I would actually kind of really like that, depending on what the game was. Like, say it's a puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
It's open for 30 days. Like, oh my god, why? What am I gonna? I'm not gonna remember that puzzle.
We're giving out a really good idea.
Right? Of course. Well, I mean, we do that anyway.
You made like,
we give out
so like breweries
ideas.
do this. This is a big thing at breweries right now. Like,
it was a thing on YouTube.
Like release scheduling, where it's like, we're releasing this beer for like this week, and then that's it.
Yeah, Pepsi releases Baja Blast in cans during the summer only.
Yeah.
Bunch of sluts if you ask me, but hey, I buy it. So,
you're a hoe.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. I'll pay for a good service if you know what I'm saying. Couldn't get myself through that own joke. The idea would be, you made, what was that island game that had all the puzzles on it? Why can't I not remember? Witness.
The Witness?
Yeah. So say you make something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That has, it's not just like the movement puzzles, like it's text-based things or whatever. It's open for 30 days. And there's some game, something along those lines. It's something open for 30 days that everybody's rushing to get to the end of.
Mm-hmm.
And if nobody makes it to the end of 30 days, you kill it and you never let them see it. And then you just make a new game. And then
in my mind's eye, I see this is kind of like, I'm pulling things from like a anime that I never finished watching because it wasn't super good. But like, you make like an Apple style game developer that kind of has that like snobbiness, and it's like has like a little mystique around it.
You have to have somebody arrogant,
yes,
because they can't bow to the community when the community says none of us have solved it, and they go, "That's too bad." They have to stick to their guns of saying at this specific time on the 30th day, I pull the plug.
And then you make disposable games, you market the fuck out of them, and you just rake in dough constantly.
If you can, ideally, you do it every 6 months. So you hit your holiday and your summer window, and you just go, "Hey, October 1st, the new one comes out."
See, I think 6 months might be a little too long.
No, I'm not saying for an open window.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying 6 months between your two, because you give yourself time to dev.
Yeah,
like fine tune your. You don't want to. You're not putting out a shit product. You're putting out a good product for 30 days. So
exactly. But that's the beauty of it, though, is it doesn't necessarily have to be like perfect, because in 30 days, no one's going to be able to like find.
You say that, but people will also know life your shit, and they might ruin it in the first week, which is what don't. You need to give yourself a window. So you say, all right, October 1st at 6 a.m., this game launches. Get to the end, because it's turning off October 30th at 6 a.m. Good luck. And then don't say anything else. Only verify like if somebody figures it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then turn the whole, put yourself up with a big video, almost like anonymous style, of you standing next to a giant power lever, and just turn the whole thing off, shut the whole game down, and then be like, "We'll be back May."
And it deletes everything as well.
Oh yeah, it's just gone.
Yeah. Wild. Great ideas.
It would be awesome. Again, $1 billion.
Yep.
Free money. You're welcome.
New Gamers 2 studio. Numero 7.
Siete.
I know. Siete, all right? This whole point, make it weird.
You're already odd.
Lego is working with 2K Games on a new line of Lego sports titles, according to a VGC report. Citing people with knowledge of 2K's plans, the outlet is reporting that the publisher and the building block company have agreed to create a new line of Lego titles that will begin with a soccer/football title intended to hit shelves around the November kickoff of World Cup 2024. That game is said to be in development at Sumo Digital, which hasn't made a game based on the sport since 2004's England International Football on the original Xbox. The second 2K Lego game will be a licensed open-world driving game launching next year from NBA 2K and WWE 2K studio Visual Concepts. The third game is not detailed, other than to say it will be another sports game based on a major franchise. VGC reports that LEGO has decided not to extend its exclusivity deal with WB Games TT Game Studios. Sources told VGC that TT Games has one more LEGO game in development beyond LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
So, I got questions.
Nate's not happy.
That's true.
You got that look on your face. You're inspecting the content.
I'm inspecting the content because I want to go back to the beginning.
Okay. Going back to the
LEGO
start.
sports titles.
Why not?
What the
I don't know, bro. Out of all the things you could do with Legos, sports. That's what they're saying. Sports. They think sports is the big money maker.
And then they hit the line. Have agreed to create a new line of LEGO titles to begin with a soccer football title intended to hit the shelves around November kickoff of World Cup 2024. That's not a World Cup year. The World Cup is happening this year, this November.
I don't know, man.
In 2 years, that's not a World Cup.
Is this some weird thing where they call... Wait, World Cup is happening this year?
Yeah. It happens this winter. Or sorry, next winter. So 2023.
Do they call it World Cup 2024, though?
No. This fall.
This fall.
Yeah.
I don't know,
or
man.
this like fall, winter. So it'll be going into 23.
Let me double check that I got the year right.
I assumed you copy pasted.
I mean, I kind of...
So
I do and I don't.
So
sometimes.
I was going to lambast them, but maybe it is you who should get to my wrath.
Oh, I don't know.
Or not that I.
Yeah, I mean World Cup 2022. That's what.
Yeah, yeah. It's this fall. It's this fall. Starts in like November, December.
Okay, where's the?
I had to figure out what month we were in before I started talking about that.
That's not what I wanted.
Anyway.
Yeah. Where is
it? It's interesting. The second 2K Lego game will be a licensed open world driving game launching next year. So that I'm interested about, because do you remember Lego Racer?
I do.
Now, I'm all right for that. You give another Lego kart game type of thing. All right, cool. I'm down. Silly, fun. Would line up with. Honestly, they should have just partnered with Hot Wheels probably and made a giant DLC for that.
Yeah, I mean that'd be a pretty good idea. Although Hot Wheels got their own crazy shit going on, so maybe Matchbox.
Let's not bring up Matchbox or 20. You get the reference. Also, where's Skywalker Saga?
April? Is that when it's coming out?
Yeah, but like, come on.
And what's going on?
You're telling me you're already making more Lego games when you couldn't make this one?
What's happening after that too? Like, what's this game that's coming out afterwards?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I think that was a fuck up. I think it is supposed to be this year.
Okay.
So 2022.
Oh, that it has one more. I thought it said that it wasn't going to do one more. Okay, so it has one more Lego game in development beyond.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Lego Indiana Jones.
My other thought too was Lord of the Rings.
Ooh, both true. I like where we're at.
Yeah.
Lego James Bond.
Oh shit, that'd be kind of interesting.
The Lego Lord of the Rings ones are funny because I don't know if you remember the games.
I do, yeah.
That they use the movie VO.
Yeah.
Over the top of it, so you'd shoot a banana at somebody and it sounded like you got hit with an arrow.
Yeah.
So, in some ways, sign me up.
What other weird shit could they do?
Another Lego Batman.
I was just gonna say
they've already made 3.
Lego Batman or like a Lego.
4.
I mean, they're kind of like DC. They're kind of do all DC stuff, like maybe
Lego
like
Marvel,
like a Lego. Oh yeah, they did do that too. Maybe they're just gonna do another Lego City one.
Yeah. Lego City Undercover.
Lego
Island. That's a throwback. I used to play Lego Island. I don't even remember what you did in that game. I just remember I just drove around on a motorcycle for as long as I could. I was too young to figure out what the hell I was supposed to do, but it was a lot of fun.
I don't know, Lego, man. Lego
Land,
Lego.
Lego Theme Park, Lego Tycoon.
A Lego, you know, it'd be fun.
Lego Roller Coaster Tycoon.
That would be great. Some sort of Lego RTS game.
I see what you're going for. Lego Warhammer. Total War.
That'd be wild.
Total War Lego.
Honestly,
if you could do Total War Lego, except it's with all the like medieval and Civil War sets they had, because they have the ones with the old giant spoke wheel cannons and horses and everything, and knights, and do that. That'd be hysterical to watch happen.
Mm-hmm. Probably gonna do something space related.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, I guess it is my turn. I forgot where I was. Number 8. Sony has unveiled the final design of its new PlayStation Vr2 headset. The new design is lighter than the first PSVR device and has a new ventilation system. The device will also support 4K HDR and enhanced camera tracking, and a new PSVR2 Sense controller similar to the PS5's controller. Sony also confirmed that the PSVR2 development kits are already in the hands of game creators. A retail launch date for the headset was not given. So
did you Did you take a gander at it?
Nope. I didn't take a gander for one reason and one reason only, Matt.
You don't care.
Not exactly.
Okay.
That is tangentially correct.
Okay.
Because more than likely I'm not buying one.
That's fair.
Just because I think it'll end up being priced out for what I want, even though I think it'll still be a very reasonable price point. For my justification to get into VR, I think it'll be too high. Because even the Oculus one or whatever, that's like only $200 is still too high in my head. For like the amount that I know I would use it type of thing.
That's the problem is like I feel like a lot of the hardware is fairly priced, but there's not enough stuff.
I think the majority of it is fairly priced. It's just
just not enough.
It's like, okay, I'm going to buy PSVR 2 just to sit in a helmet in my living room while I play Gran Turismo. Yes, but that's not the point.
What's great about Sony, and what's unfortunate about like the combination of what all the wonderful things Sony's doing and the real world applications of like what you're talking about where there's not enough shit.
Yeah.
Sony's like solving a lot of VR's problems. And the first one, like they were the ones that came out with the headset strap idea that everyone was like, oh, this is great. And like everyone ended up migrating to that, the ratcheting strap.
Yep.
They used like the really good lenses. Like they did a bunch of stuff that was like forward thinking. And one of the biggest issues that's come to light with the new generation of VR headsets is they're uncomfortable to wear long term because they're heavy and hot.
Yes.
And then the lenses fog up.
Yeah.
So
I
like
mean, even I probably played for what 45 minutes to an hour when we had it.
Mm-hmm.
And even then I was still like damp around my forehead.
Yeah. So the ventilation system is like that's fantastic.
When they say ventilation system, I just picture like a full AC unit strapped to your back type of thing.
With a fucking like piping going to your face.
Yeah, you end up looking like Bubble Boy.
Yeah.
Because you're in a climate controlled.
Fantastic. All right, number 9. In a leaked email, EA CEO Andrew Wilson explained why they may ditch the FIFA branding. I summed it up into a couple quotes because I didn't want to talk about all the garbage. Quote, what we get from FIFA in a non-World Cup year is the 4 letters on the front of the box. End quote.
All right.
Quote.
Oh, okay.
FIFA is just the name on the box, but they've precluded our ability to be able to branch into the areas that players want. End quote. Quote. We don't want to pay more money than this license is worth, but it's not about that. It's really about our ability to deliver games and experiences that our fans want in a timely fashion. End quote. So, Andrew Wilson is claiming that FIFA is the old ball and chain weighing them down.
It's funny because of bullshit. Second, you have an exclusive licensing deal, and if you want to mouth it, they'll just go, you don't anymore.
Which I think is what's going to happen here.
Like, all right, everybody's allowed to use whatever they want. We'll see you later. You're not allowed to use FIFA anymore. Good luck. Like, oh, and you can't use any of the player likenesses or team names or anything else. Good luck.
So, who do you think... All right, this is probably an obvious answer, but I'm going to ask it anyways.
All right.
Theoretically...
You know what? I'll purposely not give you the obvious answer. How's that sound?
Theoretically, EA loses or drops the FIFA branding from their football games.
Okay.
We'll use the correct terms. Football. And football. Do you think they drastically lose sales? Like, do you think there's a noticeable...
It's a loaded question.
It is.
No, is my immediate answer.
Okay.
My reasoning
You think they just go with the Ultimate Team branding?
Well, it's because you didn't propose the situation where somebody offers a rival product with the licensing. Which I think pivots the situation.
Yeah, that is a big contributing factor.
So say, for the joke of the conversation, say Pro Evolution then does get full licensing rights.
Okay, so you have FIFA. Well, we have FIFA Pro Evolution.
Yeah, or Pro Evolution FIFA, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You have PEF instead of PES.
Okay. There you go.
Does that swing it? That swings quite a bit because PES is already spiraling.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you'd run into a better situation where they would end up running Ultimate Team branding. I think you're correct there. And I think somebody like... do I really want to say this? Somebody like 2K would be very interested in trying that.
So, all right, let's run the two scenarios. So, say they drop FIFA and there's no competition, no other FIFA alternative for at least 1 year. They don't lose sales. So you don't
that 1 year, no way. It would be interesting. It depends on if, again, this goes. I don't know how exactly all the licensing works. So if FIFA is just the name on the front, and they're still allowed to use team and player likenesses inside the game, then nothing matters. None of this matters at all. They don't lose anything. If losing FIFA on the front also means that they can't use like team names and player likenesses and whatever in the game,
which I assume that would be the case.
I think it would be the case for maybe the teams, but not the players. Like they might not be able to use the jerseys or the correct team names, and you probably couldn't use like the players' like pictures. But you could use their likeness with like their name because PES uses their name, but I think that might be negotiated with the players thing versus the team.
Like if they have some sort of union.
Yeah, like the FIFA might represent some of the teams, but they don't represent the players directly type of move. So potentially they wouldn't lose anything there necessarily. If they would take a bigger hit if it meant the stuff on the inside versus just the top. If it meant just the top, nobody's going to give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
If it means the inside stuff, that changes perspective.
Yeah.
They still won't lose much if there's no competitor within the same year it happens. If somebody puts out, for the conversation, an equal product in terms of like, they both have an ultimate team, they both have a like franchise mode, and they both have the ability to play against your friends online type of thing.
Yeah, like that would be like
those
if like 2K made stuff.
Yeah, like those three things. 2K makes a football game, and they have full licensing. As long as they played the same, it would take a couple of years, but they would take a significant chunk, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
but it would not be instant. It wouldn't be like, oh, we lost it. All right, everybody's out of here, because it takes time to move. You need the influencers at the top that have done so well for FIFA and everything to make their own move, to do that, to bring everybody with them.
Yeah,
2K could do it and like do the hard push.
This is a weird one because like I don't know. I wouldn't trust. Like I feel like EA needs all the help they can get because their games generally don't stand on their own. Generally, sports games, different story.
Sports games are a different story. Sports games print money.
They do, but like their track record for is just like all over the place.
Oh yeah, it's not good, but I'm just saying they print money. There's no competitor. They print money. That's just the issue. Anyway, let's go to number 10. In case you've lived under a rock, or in a trash can, or ignored everything entirely.
Yeah.
Russia has invaded Ukraine. And we've rounded up some of the responses from the video game community. We've already covered a little bit of this earlier. That's obviously, again, if you haven't paid attention, Russia's being a bunch of fucking dicks. So here we go. NVIDIA has seemingly been hit by a major cyber attack that may have completely compromised parts of its business. The Telegraph reports that the cyber attack was initiated at the same time as the Russian Cyber Warfare Division started their offensive against Ukraine. All NATO allies have announced major sanctions on Russia, and this could potentially be why Russia has decided to target major companies such as NVIDIA. Again, funny, but it goes back to, like, man, if you imagine if they had ARM, and they also got affected.
Yeah.
But it's in some ways it's funny that they're targeting NVIDIA and not ARM. You know, it's just like a weird distinction. It's a minor one, but it's an interesting still to look at. Riot Games has announced the postponement of the third week of its 2022 EMEA Valerant Champions Tour. There are several Russian and Ukrainian players among the teams competing in the tournament. Good to postpone that. GSC Game World, the creators of the Stalker series, expressed their support for their country and armed forces. Wow, with a series of tweets and blog posts asking for people to donate directly to Ukraine's military. Quote, "Do not stand aside and help those in need," end quote. It's poor English, but
it is poor English,
makes
but
sense
not their first.
Not their first language. Probably, honestly, their seventh. Frogwares, like that name, and Vostok Games have also responded to the situation with calls to support Ukraine. CD Projekt Red has donated $250,000 to a Polish-based humanitarian organization that's helping inside Ukraine. I believe Poland also opened up refugee centers.
Yeah, I think so.
Opened up to receive refugees.
I think Romania also said they. I mean, this is a loose statement, but they basically said they had the capability and were preparing to accept 500,000 refugees.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
Some may not realize it, but Ukraine is a huge part of the video game industry. On top of GSC Game World, Frogwares, and Vostok Games, which we've already mentioned, there's a ton of developers based in Ukraine. 4A Games, who make the Metro franchise, Gameloft, which is a huge mobile publisher, has 2 studios in Ukraine. Ubisoft has one of their biggest studios in Kiev. World of Tanks developer Wargaming is Ukrainian, and the list goes on and on and on. It is a lot.
There's a lot.
Shit's whack.
Shit's whack. The other one that I'll throw out that I know is that the American Formula One team Haas their title sponsor is a Russian company, which they removed the sponsorship from, and they said they're prepared to drop the sponsorship permanently. Whether they end up having to do that or not remains to be seen. Also, they canceled the Russian Grand Prix.
Yep, a lot of major. Or a lot of wealthy Russians involved in soccer as well in Europe, and they've all been getting waxed. And Man United broke off their deal with their charter planes. I guess were a Russian company. They're like, oh, that deal's gone. So
yeah, it's
still gonna sanctions are not an immediate thing usually that you don't see the effect immediately, but. In time is when it starts to really
the day which was interesting because if you're somewhat familiar with how sanctions work, you know they're not like an immediate thing. But what was interesting about these particular sanctions that I noticed, I didn't notice, but it was posted online and in different news articles, was like the day after the sanctions were announced and applied. And this was like beginning of the week or whatever this all started happening. The value of Russia's currency dropped 10% day of.
Yeah.
So they're biting a little bit harder than normal. But anyways, enough history, politics, bullshit, current events.
It's gonna get worse before it gets better, people.
Faux show. Shall we talk about the short stuff? The things we didn't write full paragraphs on. The little guys. The wee peepees.
I'm happy you said it because I was trying to think of a short stuff joke.
Short round? The Little Giants.
Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones. One of the best.
There's a Brian Posehn joke that involves short round. Do you want me to tell you it?
Is it?
You know who Brian Posehn is?
Which one's he?
He's a big fat comedian.
Okay, I think I know who you're talking about.
I'll tell you after.
Okay. Wise decision. All right. Capcom has announced Street Fighter 6, which is celebrating its 35th anniversary this year.
Did you see the image of Ryu?
I did not.
Looks thick.
I did see that apparently it's implied that's going to be a little bit more realistic art style. Is that true?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
I didn't see anything, so.
As realistic as Street Fighter can be with 80-pack abs.
Yeah. The one, like, this is a weird
They're
tangent.
still shredded.
Yeah, of course. Weird tangent, but it's something that keeps annoying me. Do you remember the NVIDIA leak where they, like, there was a list of games that was leaked that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was clearly like just shit that someone had thrown in, like, made
because wasn't it the rumor that those were all coming to Shield or something?
Yeah.
And so it was just a bunch of games that somebody had made up as like placeholders.
Yes. And Street Fighter 6 was one of the things on the list, and people keep referring back to the list.
Going back to the list, like, oh man, it was real, and it's like Street Fighter 6 is the easiest call.
Yeah,
like,
GTA
come on,
6,
it's
literally just another number. You add another number.
Yeah,
Sick of it.
it's not like this said Street Fighter 2 remake.
Sick of the bullshit. Tencent has acquired Polish developer and publisher 1C Entertainment for an undisclosed sum.
I have no idea who they are.
No, just, Tencent doing Tencent things.
But not doing.
You all right?
I forgot their name.
Embracer Group?
Yes, not doing Embracer Group things.
Okay.
Or
I was worried about you for a second.
Embracer would have bought about 50 things.
Yeah.
Not one. One's chump change.
67% of Horizon Forbidden West PS5 sales were digital downloads.
Take you guys who's part of that 67%. This guy right here and
Me
that
too.
guy over there.
Also, it's the second biggest PS5 game launch so far. Do you know what number one was?
Last of Us Part 2.
No.
Ghost of Tsushima.
No, PS5 launch.
Those are both PS5 launches.
But they were out on PS4 first.
This is also out on PS4, though.
But at the same time. I think that's the
Tsushima was the day and date, and so was Last of Us, I thought. Last of Us Part 2?
Those were PS4 games.
No. Yes. Shit. They were, weren't they?
You all right over there? I thought you had a stroke when you were making weird facial expressions.
No, it was when you're... Because I thought I played them on the PS5, but no, you're right. They were PS4. Holy shit. What year is it?
I wish I could. We should forget that.
The amount of times, by the way, that this has happened where I've been like thinking of something. I was like, it happens at work all the time.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, no, last year, and then I think about it. I'm like, that was 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's a sign of us getting old. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about my gray hair. PS5,
Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
Um,
Let's say Cyberpunk.
that's a fair guess though.
It might be now, but it's not launch. So.
Yeah, that's true. Horizon Forbidden West director Matthias DeHorn.
Hell yeah.
Told
DeHorn.
What's that?
I don't know. I just say good old DeHorn.
DeHorn, which is not his name is not spelled the way you'd think it would be pronounced. And luckily I was reading it and was like stumbled through it, and then my lovely significant other was like, what the fuck was that name? And I was like, look at it, how do you pronounce that? And she's like, I don't know. And then we looked it up on we saw him say his own name, like, in a YouTube video. I was like, I would never have gotten to that from where it was. Anyways, he told a Dutch publication that the game, as in Horizon Forbidden West, could have launched at the end of 2021, but was delayed to avoid crunch.
Good and good.
Yes.
But funny, because it launched right before Elden Ring. And I don't remember if this is true, but I did hear it, and I didn't fact check this. I believe the first Horizon launched right before Breath of the Wild.
Interesting.
So you want to try to fuck yourself.
Yeah.
By releasing against potentially two of the biggest games of a generation.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw that somewhere else as well.
And it's like, all right, that's hell of a way to go about it.
But, yeah, that's not as bad as Titanfall, but close.
No, here's the difference. Titanfall, they objectively killed.
Yeah.
Both the Horizon games are objectively good and succeeded.
Yeah. Ubisoft has decided to move its upcoming Rainbow Six esports tournament to another region. following a protest against it being held in Abu Dhabi.
Specifically being held in the UAE, which has a notorious terrible civil rights against LGBTQ, whatever.
Yeah.
The plus, I think, is after that. I can't remember the whole thing.
It's LGBTQ plus.
Plus, yes. Has horrible records against that, and laws against it, and everybody, like, inside of that community was speaking out of, like, I'd rather not go play in a tournament where a place wants to kill me.
Yeah. THQ Nordic has acquired yet another company. This time scooping up Frankfurt-based studio Metric Minds.
I like that name, too.
Nintendo has made a rare acquisition. I almost said Toyota for some reason.
That would, honestly, would have been a rare one.
Tokyo-based SRD Co. Limited will become an internal studio after a long-running history of being a partner developer with Nintendo.
I was going to say, they made an acquisition of somebody they've already been working with for like 4 decades.
Yes.
Oh, we've just officially, now we can put it on paper. It's official. We've been going steady now for a few years. But yes, would you be my girlfriend?
I put this at the very end, knowing that even if Dewey started to listen to this at all, he would never get this far. And hopefully this happens to him. Bandai Namco has issued a PSA saying that the PS5's rest mode may corrupt your game save for Elden Ring.
Oof.
They suggest saving and exiting the game before entering rest mode.
That's interesting. That's going to catch somebody.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna...
Oh, yeah. Which makes sense. There's no pause.
It's funny. I think they also put out a 1.2 patch right before launch, and they're like, you should really install that first.
Yeah. Fallout New Vegas 2 might be a thing, according to Venture Beat's Jeff Grubb. Quote, "This is very early, but people have begun to have talks and say these words in sentences, and these words are Obsidian and New Vegas 2.
Would you like Nate's words? That'll tell you the actual answer.
I don't give a fuck.
Yo, bad out here with the hard truths.
No, go ahead.
No, but that is things that you and I speculated immediately when that deal happened.
We did.
But Obsidian needs to get Outer Wilds 2 out first before that even happens. And
Did you say Outer Wilds?
Yeah.
Outer Worlds. Outer Wilds the other one.
Outer Wilds is Annapurna. Whoops.
That's fair. It's fair. Everyone did it.
Everyone
did it.
Outer Worlds 2 needs to come out first.
Yeah.
And that'll be an interesting internal discussion that is not ready to happen yet.
Obsidian has Outer Worlds 2.
Yep. They have a few things coming out.
Grounded, they're still working on.
Yep.
And the fucking fantasy game.
Yep.
Which I don't remember the name of.
Exactly. So they have all that. I don't think Bethesda is necessarily ready to let them have it again, regardless if they're owned by the same people now. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a little infight before that happens.
Oh, I'm sure. And I'm sure Microsoft, Phil Spencer, head of gaming, is going to have to step in and say, make a decision.
Dad's going to step in and say, listen, if you let them have this, we'll let you have this. Yeah. And it again, they've already got 3 things. They've got the other stuff going on. It'll be a bit before that even would happen, because if Obsidian's doing it, they're not taking anything that Bethesda has already worked on for whatever their next entry in the Fallout series is. But the next entry in the Fallout series we weren't supposed to see for like another 6 years anyway, because we still need to get Star Citizen.
I know.
Star Citizen does need to come out, but Starfield and Elder Scrolls before Fallout would happen, unless it does go to Obsidian. But even then, you would be potentially maybe seeing it right before Elder Scrolls. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, my thought is that the trajectory they're going, and we know, like, so Obsidian is working on 3 games right now. So I'm assuming,
from what I
remember, they have, I'm going to say 2.5 teams, because they probably have like, there's probably a full team working on.
I'm just curious where you put the half team, because I know where I put it.
I'm assuming there's a full team working on Outer Worlds, a full team working on Grounded, and a half team starting on the fantasy game.
I'd flip the last 2.
Yeah, that's kind of the weird one.
I think there's a half team working on Grounded because it's been out for 2 years, and we've kind of been like, what are you doing? Or been out for 3 years, I think.
That's the thing, is that there's there's something's going on.
I think that Grounded has already run its course of like, let's keep some people on it, but like we need to move.
Yeah. So I think they might, and Bethesda has, so they're working on you fucking call it Star Citizen, and I can't think of what the fuck is Starfield,
which is supposed to be this year.
All right, so Starfield's supposed to be this year. Then Elder Scrolls is next, right?
For like true Bethesda core things, yes. But you still have like random id games in there and whatever else.
Yeah, and then but they wouldn't work on like a Fallout game.
No, the Wolfenstein dev has
they have their own shit going on.
They have indie.
Yeah, and then it would be theoretically they could do a Fallout game, right? There wasn't anything else planned after Elder Scrolls.
Post Elder Scrolls, you would have Fallout would be the rotation.
So,
assuming there's not a new IP again or something else.
Yeah, so like the Obsidian and Bethesda, they line up where they'd almost be hitting it at the same time if they.
Yeah, which I think you'd let Bethesda run with doing Indiana Jones as it's not truly Bethesda, but Bethesda thing. Put it this way: when Skyrim comes out, not Skyrim, when Elder Scrolls comes out, it's not going to lose its full team of devs for like 2 years.
Yeah,
because they're still going to be putting all the DLC.
So if
together.
you're in charge, if you're Phil Spencer, head of gaming,
I'm a god.
Yes. Who do you give the next Fallout game to?
Obsidian.
Same.
Regardless if it's New Vegas or not, I give it to them.
Yeah. Same. People would love it.
I give it to them because of what they did with Outer Worlds. I go. You guys have proven you can still do it. Let's go.
Yep.
But
go ahead.
I give Bethesda.
I don't give Bethesda anything. Fuck. No, I'm just kidding. What would Bethesda like to do? Is there anything that Microsoft owns that Bethesda worked on at some point? Probably not.
I don't think that's true. Not the probably not part. I think that's correct. I don't think there's anything they own. I gotta look this up real quick before I spout off with what I was gonna say.
It Takes Two won Game of the Year at the 2022 DICE Awards. That was the last one for the little things. Do you care to know? I'm not even gonna ask.
Okay.
The DICE Awards.
Avowed was the fantasy game, by the way.
The DICE Awards played out like every other award ceremony awards this year, so there wasn't. I didn't see any weird ones in there. I don't know if there's anything. Okay, and my iPad froze. Okay, there we go. Bethesda. Let me look through this real quick. Wow. Yeah, the DICE Award. The DICE Awards basically mirrored all the other awards this year, which is kind of interesting. Except Halo Infinite won Game of the Year for Action Game of the Year and Online Game of the Year.
That's interesting.
It is. Sports Game of the Year was Mario Golf.
That's what?
Yeah.
Why was that sports game? What? I'm gonna look. Just gonna. What?
What? You challenge me? How we doing over there on searching?
I found what I wanted, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted, so I need to double check something.
Okay.
Sorry to ruin it.
That's fine. No big deal. What do I want to talk about on my platform here?
You have a whole platform. What have you been up to? We can go right to that. I'm just flipping through.
I mean, I've just playing Horizon for the most part when I can find time. It's fine. I have some irritations with it, but they're gripes more than anything else. Nothing crazy. Some bugs, which will probably get fixed eventually.
So I think I'm still the farthest out of the three of us.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I'm the farthest out of the four of us if I include my coworker.
My coworker who's playing it, I think, is probably further than us all of us, but he's getting into Elden Ring, so he will quickly fall behind.
That's what happened to Dewey. I was ahead of him.
Same
anyway.
thing with Dewey.
I was ahead of him anyway, and now I'll just be further.
Yeah. Although I'm catching up in a good clip.
I think you're catching up at a good clip, and I would probably put money you almost potentially have more hours played than I do, maybe.
My hours are fucked up because of the whole everything.
Well, it'd be double true anyway, though, because just the way that you do play, where it is, hey, I'm gonna explore and do this, and I'm like, you saw my map.
Yeah,
there are very clear moments where I'm like,
yeah. Well,
you can see where I ran.
The other irritation now, which I think might put me ahead, is I'm probably not gonna take, knowing from what you said earlier.
That I don't have certain things or whatever.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna start stream just
get to there to get those things.
Yeah, that then I can go through and do all the other shit and not have to double back as much as I would otherwise.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. How are we doing over there? Any progress?
Not really. I'm not finding anything that's entertaining.
I mean, give the idea. Well, our one idea was to give Bethesda some sort of Blizzard or Activision IP.
Yeah, but
there's nothing that really stands out that screams. Here's my issue with Blizzard, or not Blizzard, with Bethesda, is they kind of lost their identity a little bit.
Yes.
So it's hard to say oh, they would be good with that franchise, because I don't really know what the fuck Bethesda is anymore.
Yeah, what I'd rather see out of Bethesda is something new. Again after
a new IP,
but a new. I want them to, and this is no one is going to probably back me on this. I want them to make a new Commander Keen.
I mean, that'd just be different. You've been saying that for a while.
I know. That's just childhood.
Yeah.
Though, but all right, we're giving Fallout away so you can focus on a new Commander Keen, and they're going to go who, and you're going to go exactly. See you later.
Yeah.
But I'm Phil Spencer. I'm the head of gaming, so
yeah,
I get what I want.
Yeah.
Do you know how many hours in you were?
I don't. I checked, but a while ago. But my problem is I had left my game on the menu a few times.
No, okay. I was just curious. I don't know how it counts time.
I don't know either. Which that's the other thing. So I'm pretty sure I'm over 20 hours.
Yeah, and I believe I'm 20 hours and 40 minutes or something. So
yeah, I think you were 22 hours, and I think I'm over that, but I think that there's a couple hours that are probably just sitting at menus or the PlayStation was left on.
Yeah. But as per usual, it is always interesting to see our statistics.
Yes.
I've done one thing or one thing or killed 180 some odd machines already or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure I'm not that high on machine count kills. I'm probably not even triple digits yet.
Yeah, and I'm just out here about to roll that over to 200.
Yeah.
Listen, man, things get in my way. I got places to be. They got to die.
More power to you.
That's just how I know that the combat system's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
I mean, that's been that. It's been Horizon for a while. The last. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It was basically Horizon the whole time.
I was genuinely concerned when you sent the Snapchat of Elden Ring, because the way you took the Snapchat, and you might have done it purposely.
Not purposely. I was sitting here and just did this.
Yeah.
But it did look like it took up an entire screen.
Yep. And it was there wasn't someone in it. A streamer that I could see.
He was far enough to the right that he didn't show up in the shot. And so when Dewey's like, how far did you get? I was like, what, am I, an idiot? I'm not playing that game.
I was like, oh, God.
Yeah,
what is he doing?
I have more self-respect for myself than to, or not even self-respect. I know that would irritate the ever-living shit out of me.
I guess, is probably, yeah.
Listen, I'm willing to put up with difficulty, but that is in WoW rating, not Elden Ring pain. So that's the other thing. WoW dropped its patch on Tuesday. 9.2 is officially here. Zereth Mortis, Sepulchre are the first ones.
I saw Limit did a breakdown of some of the changes. Limit?
Who?
Max. Not Limit. Max.
It's just funny to do it because a bunch of people used to call him, Limit Max or whatever. And
Yeah,
it's just like, God, I'm not. My name's not Limit.
Well,
but all his tags were for the longest
yeah,
time.
which
so
is the problem.
it's like it's not a true fault on you. It's just funny.
Max,
especially because also it's not Limit either.
Yeah, Liquid.
Yep,
Liquid Max. Solid Max. There's another one too. Isn't there?
Running around in a cardboard box.
I saw you did a breakdown of like
Metal Max.
Metal. I think that might be one. Metal Snake, Solid Snake, Liquid Snake. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not
Silver.
I don't know. Silver Server. I don't know.
But yeah, he did do he's done a few videos of like breakdowns or whatever. But like depends on which one you're talking about. You're talking about the one that was thumbnailed downstairs. That's the 9.2 DPS breakdown.
Yeah, he started doing the class breakdowns or the role breakdowns or whatever you call it.
Well, the 9.2 DPS breakdown is just he was calling people from the class communities and having them rank their DPS against where it'll be with 2 legendaries and stuff like that. Fun video, just to hear everybody else's thoughts and stuff. But yeah, Race to World First starts in 2 weeks.
Nice.
This coming Tuesday, the raid opens, and then the race starts the week after that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be raiding on Tuesday.
Raiding. Bashing the old head against the wall.
Yeah, that's what I'm known for. It's what I do. I have an actual hysterical story to tell you after this.
Okay.
But nobody else. The one person that I know for a fact will be listening to this already knows the story.
Okay.
Because she's the one that told me it. Or brought it to my attention, I guess. And then I'll tell you because I just find it funny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's it. It's been WoW and Horizon are going to be my 2 things. Gran Turismo comes out Friday though, so WoW, Horizon, and driving.
Mm.
Wow, and I have Friday off, so you know what I'm going to be doing.
Sooner than I recall it being.
You're gonna find me sitting in just the driver's seat surrounded by chips and like drinks of just like water bottles with straws of just
going to town.
Getting really mad at myself that I can't shave 0.5 seconds off my lap time at Daytona because I've refused to learn how to turn right yet. Screaming that these licenses are bullshit or something.
Curious what that's gonna be. Well, I'm
gonna be loving it. It's gonna be a fun time. Anyway, anything else?
I got nothing.
All right then. We'll see you guys in 7 days. Bye bye.